Hey artists, we're gonna make these awesome texture flowers. Follow along with me and I'll show you all the steps to create your own. All right, to get started, I wanna make sure I have my name on the back of my piece of cardboard. And don't forget to put your class code. Turning that over, now I'm gonna choose what color of paper I would like behind my flowers. We have lots of colors. I think I'm gonna go with this light green. So I'll set these to the side. Take my glue stick and add glue all the way around the edge. We're gonna put a nice squiggle through the middle to make sure it stays stuck down to the cardboard. Going to flip it over and carefully put this right in the center. Perfect. And really rub it around to make sure it sticks nicely to the cardboard. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is look at some of the different kinds of straws we have, and we're going to pick probably 3 or 4 straws that you like to be the stems for your flowers. And you can set them on your cardboard and just kind of see, this one's a little shorter, this one's taller, this one is kind of medium. I think I'll go for 3. So I'm going to take those 3 straws and I'm going to stick them down with some glue. Now I want to make sure I am just putting some small dots of glue, not too much. There's some small dots of glue in a row, and I'm going to set my straw right on top. Then I'm going to put some dots of glue where I want this straw, making sure they're going straight up. Little dots of glue, little dot, dot, not a lot. And put the straw down. Perfect. Now they might move around a little bit, but they're stuck down pretty good for us for now. You're going to get a container of Model Magic clay. Take a pair of scissors and cut the clay open. It's open, I can pull this apart. And now I have this amazing Model Magic clay. I'm going to use my scissors as one important tool. And I'm going to make sure my paper is ready for us to put the clay on top of. Take your clay and you're going to feel the texture of the clay. It's kind of squishy. And we can use our scissors as a tool to cut the clay, or we can just rip it. You can rip off pieces of the clay, or you can use your scissors to cut it. We made the stem of our flowers with our straw. We can make the middle of our flower with some clay. You could roll it in a ball and squish it down on top to make the top of your flower. You could roll some smaller pieces of clay and maybe make them a little squish down and make a little leaf shape and add some leaf shapes to your stem. You could take a piece of clay and roll it into a long skinny snake. Rolling into a long skinny snake, and you could curl it. And make that the top of your flower. Just kind of push it down with your hand. We can make some bigger leaves. I could push down with my finger and make a bigger leaf. Now my straw might move around a little bit, but I can push the clay to hold it in place. We can roll this one in a ball. I could squish around with my fingers and change the shape and put this on top. Oh, I moved my straw, that's okay. I'm gonna put it right back on our glue. And I can make some more little round pieces to make more leaves. Let's see. All right. Now that we have our leaves and the tops of our flowers, we're ready to start using another piece of art supply that has lots of texture. These are pipe cleaners. And I've got some spiky ones and some really soft ones. Let's see what we can do with them next. With our pipe cleaners, they bend. So if you want to bend them into like a zigzag shape, you could do that. And then if you want to add them to your leaf, you can just push down into the clay and they stick right out with that amazing texture. I'm making some zigzag shapes and I just push it down in the clay. And that adds some really cool stuff to my leaf. I like the way that looks. We can take these and you can take it around maybe your finger or a pencil. If we take like a colored pencil, we can hold it down with our thumb and you can go around in a circle. And then when you pull it off, it has a different shape. So you can experiment with these and make different shapes with your pipe cleaners and start to put them on your flower. I'm using purple this time. You can decide any color you would like to use and you just stick it right on your flower. I might take the purple and mix it with some blue and make a little spring shape and put the blue in. That is looking amazing. I'm going to keep taking my purple and go around and make a pattern with the purple and the blue. The purple and the blue. So I'm wrapping it around my pencil to make a different texture and a different shape. So instead of being straight, it's got kind of a bumpier texture. And I'm putting that right down on my flower. And I'm gonna go all the way around in a circle. Our first flower is looking amazing. Look at all that color and texture. Beautiful. What can we add to our next flower? Maybe this flower is going to have some orange pieces. There's kind of a hard piece in the center and I can push it right down into my flower to make sure it sticks. So I'm just adding some of this around on my flower. That's looking so cool. I'm really poking it down into the clay so it won't fall out. And I have this one that has a little bit of yellow and orange, and maybe I will put that in the center. Beautiful. And for my last flower, I can decide if I want to roll it around and make some different textures. And I'm going to put the spiky pieces down in the clay and add that to my last flower. This is making our flowers have texture, making our flowers so they stick up and they're 3D. They are not flat. It's looking pretty cool. Now that we have texture from our pipe cleaners on all of our flowers, we can add some more texture to the leaves where you would like it. You can add more texture on your flowers too if you would like. And then we can take some marker and add some details. Wow, look at all that amazing texture we added to our flowers. These are looking so cool. Just a couple extra things we could do if we wanted to add a little bit more. Regular markers work really good on our Model Magic clay. So if you wanted to add some extra color, I like to just gently tap the marker and it makes little dots just to keep decorating. I could add some orange to this flower. You could just draw some extra lines. I might make a big circle in the center of this one. Add some more purple. That looks great. And if you wanted to add any green to your leaves, you can. Just adding some extra leaf lines. And you could also go to the bottom and just add some short straight lines to be some grass with your plants. And that really gives a finishing touch to your beautiful texture flowers. I cannot wait to see the texture flowers that you create.